thing about this is that, like, if you're in the public restroom and there's a lady with, like, a small kid there's no avoiding the fact that there's a kid there, because they make the most noise ever. So, like, it's just, like, a constant, it's not like I'm actively eavesdropping in the bathroom, but you cannot avoid. It's like, okay, it's time to go potty. It's time to go potty. It's time to go potty. It's like, nope, bring your pants down. Okay, go. Just sit there. No, sit. And it's, like, kind of funny.
So I was busy telling the story, but did you go down that path?
Which path?
Yeah,
there was a chest.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
It's dead end.
So if you go to the right, I think I saw a little space where you could keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna look there. Mm-hmm. But just my stories tend to be like someone brings their kid to the store and the kid does something cute.
Or somebody comes in with like a pocket full of dogs or something.
Yeah, we have a guy. It's a family actually who have a lot of Chihuahuas, and one of the guys in this family is like I don't know if he's just full on like goth or something, but he like has a big black trench coat he wears around most of the time, and it's got big pockets, and he keeps his dog in it. It's like a Chihuahua. Her name is Domino. I think that dog one of their dogs had a seizure less than a year ago and hasn't been the same since, and I don't remember if it's that one. But like they've got a lot of Chihuahuas, and that guy keeps at least one in his pocket. Yeah. A lot of people bring their dogs into the store. We can't really do anything about it, and personally I wouldn't if we could, because it's like, I like looking at dogs. Most people who have dogs that aren't well behaved know better than to bring the dog in public because they're gonna get in trouble. So it's usually dogs that are pretty chill, who are used to being around people and won't bark unless you like get too close or mess with them. So long as you like ask before you pet a dog, usually you're fine. We have one guy with a service dog. He's a guy in a wheelchair. I think the dog's for like helping him like figure out how far you can back up and stuff in the wheelchair. I don't remember the man's name, but the dog's name is Radar. We have a lady who comes in regularly who is training a service dog. That dog's like, I think that dog's about a year old. It's like a golden retriever. Gorgeous little dog. Not that little anymore. That dog's name is Nanami. I remember the dog's names, and also I wouldn't start listing off people's names on YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
probably
that'd be
not.
weird.
That might be a little weird.
Yeah. God, do I know any other dog names? I probably do. One of the checkers who runs the check stands used to have, I want to say it was like one of those, it was a mix of two different squish face dogs. So it was like bulldog and something else, maybe pit bull. That dog's name was Dot because she had a dot on her head. I think that dog died a couple years ago, and it wasn't even that old.
Sad. Why are you telling us about this?
I'm just trying to think of all the dogs I know.
Well, stop thinking about dogs you know. Stop it. I'll tell you about the time that I saw an 11-year-old get taken into custody at the theater.
Oh, did someone leave a kid there and drive off?
No.
Okay, because that happened at the store once.
He went in there with a friend of his who was like 14, and they got caught filming a movie.
Oh, yeah.
So somebody called the police, and the police went in there, and as soon as they showed up, the 14-year-old bolted up and took off out the exit door.
And of course, they're going to tackle you because you're running.
No, they chased him, and they could not find the 14-year-old.
Oh.
He just vanished. And they caught the 11-year-old and took him out, and he was like crying in the lobby, and he's like, my friend told me to. And they're like, well, does your mom know where you are? And he's like, no, my mom doesn't know. I was supposed to be at home all day. And they wound up calling his mom and like telling her about it and having the kid have a long conversation. It took them like 45 minutes to get the kid to call his mom too, because he's like, no, I don't know her phone number. And they're like, yes, you do.
Why would you try that shit with
down
a cop?
to the right? No, is that more rubble?
Can I get on this?
Oh, this is a stupid area.
Yeah, well,
you want to just go back and save, and then
I think we should. Because I can go in, because I need to do some evolution grinding anyways. So now that we got a new Diggle, oh hey, I can punch that Elvis.
Nice.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to go back.
Yeah, all right.
Because I haven't been paying attention to who is defeating who here, so our fox might not be getting in any final blows. That's fine, though.
Yeah.
I'll do it later.
But yeah, they wound up taking the kid into custody, and then they asked us to never call the police on children again.
That's fair. I think it's kind of bullshit that they called the police on kids with a camera and didn't call the police on the guy trying to fuck women in the theater.
I'm sure they would have if they had, like, caught him and were sure that he was going to stay there. That's the problem is it's just American service industry has that weird issue where it's like you're not allowed to actively go out of your way to stop someone from doing something.
Yeah.
So they could be doing something super illegal, and unless you know for sure they're going to be sitting there for a little bit longer, you cannot do a goddamn thing.
Also, a lot of companies are afraid of retaliation. Like if you try to stop someone, they fucking, like, sock you in the face, and that's a liability. So, like, you shouldn't do anything for your own safety and for, you know, like, no one getting sued, or you don't sue the company or whatever.
At one point at the theater I worked for, there was a guy who worked there before I worked there. And I only ever heard...
Hey, what the fuck?
Did that thing get resurrected?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Elvis lives.
Huh. I only heard stories about him doing this, though. The guy basically was sitting there taking tickets at the front door, and he looked out, and he had parked at the front of the parking lot, and he actively watched somebody break into his own car. And he just looked at him, and he looked at the employee who was standing next to him and said, "Here, hold this," and handed him the tickets and walked over and laid the guy out. Like,
Did this guy get fired for this?
He beat the absolute shit out of the guy who was breaking into his car.
Liability for the company.
At which point he reached into his car, pulled out rope that he had from, like, mountain climbing, and tied the guy up. And then tossed him in a planter box. And he went in and called the police, and the company totally fired him for doing it.
Yeah, like you're doing that on company time in a company's, like, work shirt and all that shit. It's like that looks super bad. At the same time, I'd kind of root for the guy.
Yeah, but the guy had actually broken the dude's window and unlocked his door and reached in and was hot wiring his car in broad daylight in front of the guy who owns the car.
Yeah.
And he straight up told him, like, he told him, "You're really lucky because I also have a shotgun underneath my back seat. I could have killed you." And it's like in California, in California, our break-in laws are really stupid. Like, if somebody breaks into your home and cuts themselves on broken glass in your window or something like that, you can be held accountable for the person who broke in, and you'll have to pay their medical bills.
That's really bizarre.
Yeah, all right, so...
Yeah, we're done. Blanket apology that if any of the bizarre and grim shit that we've just recounted just, like, hits a nerve for anyone, we're sorry. Most of these stories are... Yeah, these are all true stories, so we're not, like, trying to, like, make, like fucked up jokes or anything.
Well, we're gonna put a warning or something on them.
Yeah, we're gonna want to, because some of this
It's probably not the same video that this is gonna be a part of.
Yeah, but, like, it'll come around. I figured for my own closure, I just want to say, sorry, these stories are kind of real, mostly real.
They're definitely real.
Yeah.
I wasn't making anything up.
I like always give myself room for disclaimer that I may remember things wrong, so I do that.
Yeah.
Like, we will try to have subjects that are better. Like, I'll just think of more dog names. Alive dog names. I'm sorry.
Anything else you want to say before we go?
That was what I wanted to say.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.